Hello guys and welcome back. So in this video, let's add the auth state change in our application. Okay, so we're going to check authentication as the application starts. So for that, there's a lot of ways we can do this. So this is just one of the ways that I will be doing. So let's come back here in the authentication. I'm going to create a new screen. This should be called landing screen.dat. Okay, so this will be a stateful widget. Let's name it as a landing screen. So here on the landing screen, what I want to display is just this lottie in the center, and then maybe even just a loading progress indicator, or I can display this lottie animation. Okay, so here first of all, let me return a scaffold, and then for now let's return the center like this, and then let's go to the screen so that we should be working in it. First, let's go in the constants. Let's see if we have that screen here. So we don't have that screen. Let's copy one of these, maybe on top here. I want to put that landing screen. Then let's copy that and then let's paste that here. Now we can close the constants, then go to the main.dat. Here I want to have a landing screen here, and then here even on the roads I want to have our constants dot landing screen, that one. So this is a constant, and then let's import the landing screen there. Okay, now that we have that, let's hot restart. And then we are in the landing screen. So let's go to this screen here. If I want, I can just put here the secular progress indicator like that, and then hot restart. So this is just the loading. It's going to be showing that the application is loading. So here you can put whatever you want. Maybe you can put your application logo, or I can put this loading, or I can also put the Lottie package. What I can do is inside the login screen here, where are we calling our Lottie package here, I can get this, copy that, then go in the landing screen, and then this center here, let it return the column like that, and then let's put the first child as this Lottie package, and then let's also import it, then import it. We can do that, and then let's hot restart, so we can have something like that, so that both of them are showing. And then here, if we want, we can have a linear progress loading, and then let's hot restart, something like that. So also maybe this, we can put it in the size box, or what we can do is we get this size box. Let's cut this here. We can remove this column from here, and then put the column inside this size box. Okay, like that, and then let this be the first child, and then the second child be this loading indicator, and then let's hot restart. Then we have something like that. So we are having this error because of the height. So maybe we can increase this height to 400. Let's hot restart. There we have these two things showing. So we can have the loading like that if we want, which is what I'm going to keep. Let's have a const modifier. So this is our quick loading screen. that's the only thing that we want to show when the application is starting. And then here now we need to create a method to check authentication. Okay, so let's go back to the authentication provider, and then maybe let's put this method on top here. Let's check auth state, authentication state. Okay, then let's see if what Copilot will do. So you can see what Copilot is doing. It's checking all of this, and then let's click on tab and see if this code is correct. So here it's check authentication. What is it checking? If auth.current user does not equal to now, which means you are authenticated. Okay, and then if it is equal to now, you are not authenticated. So we can check it like this, or the other way that we can do is just to check auth to check the authentication state from this auth from Firebase. Okay, but this also looks to be fine. Looks like Copilot is giving us the correct code here. What we can do maybe is to navigate inside our provider, or I mean to go back and navigate, or we can just navigate here. I think it's fine. Let's use this code. Okay, so first here we are checking authentication, and then if auth.current user does not equal to now, which means you are authenticated. Okay, but we don't need to set all of these things. What we can do is to get the user, after we know that we are authenticated, we can get the user data from Firebase, and then also save that user data to shared preferences. So I think what we can do here is to pass some required argument. Okay, so let's pass this required we don't need the build context here, so let's just pass required actually no, let's not pass anything here. Let's return a boolean here. Okay, let's return a boolean. Okay, so we don't need to check all of these things if it is loading or what, because we are showing that already. So here let's just make a bool is signed in, which will be initialized to false. Okay, and then we are going to do that, and then maybe only delay for 2 seconds. So here we are going to set our bool, which is signed into true. Okay, here we'll say is signed in to true, and then we are not going to do this. Let's cut this. Here we are just going to set the bool is signed in to false. Okay, that is the only thing that we are doing here. So now down here we're just going to return our is signed in. So this is just a simple method to check authentication. It's just check auth.current user is not equal to now. Okay, so now back in our home screen, where's the landing screen? Here. So here let's do init state, and then here in init state let's check let's do check authentication. Okay, like that, and then let's create this method which is down here. So here we're going to say auth provider final auth provider will be equal to context.read authentication provider. So let's import that. this will be asynchronous, and then here we're just going to await check authentication. Okay, so what seems to be the error? So check authentication, this is let's see our method name, check authentication state. Okay, check authentication state, like that. So this one is going to be a boolean, it will return a boolean. Is authenticated, is authenticated, like that. So now here we're just gonna check if is authenticated, we are going to navigate to home screen, else we are going to navigate to the login screen. Okay, so this is saying we are calling it in across the asynchronous gap. So to fix this, outside this method, let's say navigate, and then here maybe let's take some required argument, which is a bool is authenticated. So here we are going to say to do it like that, and then let's paste that. So here we are going to say navigate, and then is authenticated. Then also here, actually we don't even need to do the if statement twice. Let's just do this like that, and then let's remove that, because this is checking from what is coming from here. Okay, then we're going to navigate either in the login screen or in the home screen. So this method we're calling it in a init state. So let's maybe just cut everything here, put it right next to it. Okay, so this check authentication is the code that our Copilot has provided for us. Okay, so let's go on ahead and restart and see if this will work. So I'm going to stop it and then run it again. So we have a now check used in the now value. We forgot one very important thing here. Okay, so our method worked here. It has checked that this user is authenticated, and then it has navigated to the home screen. But this data is now the user model, because we need to do more. Okay, if we go to the landing screen here, once we see that this user is authenticated here, we need to do more things here. We need to get that data from Firestore, and then so here, after this has happened, so let's return that if statement here. Okay, if is authenticated. So if the user is authenticated here, we need to get user data from Firestore. Okay, and then after we get that, and then save user data to shared preferences. Okay, so we skip these two parts, and then in the else, we know that is not authenticated. We are just going to navigate. Let's cut that and then put it here. Okay, so inside here, let's check. We know that we already have all these methods. So if we run this method, which is this one, it's setting that user ID on top. So that is set. Then let's go back in the landing screen here. Also, we already created that method, which is this one. Then after all this is done, let's navigate like that. So now we are set. Let's stop it and run it again. So okay, there is another error here. You can see that this user ID that we are using here, this is something that we need to check very seriously. Okay, so here if we get this get user data from past, we are using this user mode, this UID, which is being set if we are logging in here, if we are signing in with phone, it's been set here. And also if we are verifying the OTP is been set. Okay, but if we are just starting the application from the scratch, this is not set anywhere. So instead of using this, we have to use the data from the data that we already know that we have this user model. Okay, that's what we're supposed to use. So let's see where we can get this. So here in the landing screen, if we check that we are authenticated here, what we can do is in this method, the same method, let's close that. I closed the emulator. I need to run it again. Okay, while it's running, so here where we are checking that is the user authenticated here. Okay, so we need to do that here also. If this user is authenticated, now let's also set that user ID because we want to use it again. So user ID will be equals to this. Okay, and also if we want, we can even just run these methods here, this and this. We can run these even before we get here, which is I think even easier. So here let's go back. Let's go back to authentication provider. So here let's just run these methods here. If user is not now, let's run the get user data from Firestore and then save user data to shared preferences. Okay, so let's run that. We do that and then also we do that, but here again let's notify these changes. Okay, all right, now it's going to run successful. If we go to the landing screen, now we don't need to run these, and then which means we only need to run this once. Let's cut that and then let's paste that. Okay, so yeah, this looks fine. Now the code should run successfully without errors. Let's minimize that, then let's run it. Alright, so now you can see that it's running successful. Everything is being checked and then we are navigating accordingly. If we hot restart again, it's just going to check, and then because it knows that we are authenticated, it's going to come to the home screen. So also if we come back here, so this our method is just fine. Maybe what we can do, so this delay is being put there just to make sure that everything this runs when the class has already started the landing screen. So let's leave it here, and then maybe let's move this notifying of changes below here. Okay, let's move it below after everything has been done, then we notify the changes. So let's go on ahead and hot restart again. Alright, so it's still working. So that's it guys. So in this video we have added our auth state change inside the landing screen. Okay, now it will only go to the login screen once we log out. In the next video we have to create our profile screen so that we can try to log out now and then see how our auth state works. Okay, thank you guys, and see you in the next video.